Hey folks, welcome back to the Gridiron Gaming Podcast. Here with the legend who you've all met before on previous podcasts. So I'm here again, and always great to have Hall of Famer Jack Youngblood here with me. Jack, how you doing, man?
What have you got me into?
Seriously?
What in the world have you got me into?
We got Jack into eSports, right? Because we know he's like a Fortnite and Madden junkie, and we knew how much he loved video games. So we brought him out here to Dallas, Mavs Gaming, come hang out with us and all these
This
kids.
is a whole new world for me. I'm telling you, it really is. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
How big it is, and it's been out there, and it's been exploding. And I didn't even realize what was going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was part of the thing with the Gridiron Gaming being under the PFRPA umbrella, but finding a way to connect guys with this younger generation of sports fan.
Right.
So coming into this for the first time, obviously your first eSports tournament and event. So what's caught your eye? Like what's amazed you about this thing?
It's how this has been developed. There's games here, and there's games there, and there's games there, and they're not just here in the United States. It's global.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing, and of course that's the technology of today that us old timers
yeah, I mean it's
have
open.
a hard time to really grasp sometimes.
And just and surely just imagining that even though we have folks here, but their ability to engage with us around the world in real time as we're throwing an event like this, and we're live streaming over Twitch or whatever that is, and then you start looking at the numbers from a global standpoint,
right,
which are mind-boggling of just where technology is. I get it. I mean, I'm right there with you. And I have a 13-year-old son who's a huge Fortnite and Madden fan, and as I watch him engage with, so today's football fan, he is today's youth football fan, and how he watches and absorbs football, everything, news, games, everything, is through Madden. Right?
Through Madden.
So,
yeah.
And just to bring you up to speed with it, so Madden is constantly updated. So if there's an injury roster, it gets changed on Madden in real time.
I need to start watching Madden.
Yeah, right. So you're playing. I need
to tune in.
All this stuff, and there's a news feed on there, and so these kids are playing these teams and interacting as these players in a whole new level. And here we are. This was a Sunday afternoon. This is when it really dawned on me about how we bridge this gap for retired players. Was my experience with my 13-year-old son. So he's watching a game on Sunday afternoon, right? He's got a PlayStation going, right, where he's playing Madden, watching a live game, but he's also got his cell phone out, and he's engaging in real time with the NFL over social media and his favorite players over social media. So he's got 3 screens running, and I'm like, okay, literally that's it. That's how we start to bridge this gap. And what surprised me the most was today, and I'm greeting some guests as they're coming in, and I had a young man ask me, and I told you about this earlier, to ask me if Jack Youngblood was here. I'm like, and I was first shocked, right? I was like, hey, you know who Jack Youngblood is, right? He goes, I know everything about him. And he just started regurgitating your stats. How many tackles, how many sacks, how many yards for loss. So he literally went, and he found out you were going to be here, and learned everything he possibly could about you. Mm-hmm. So then I knew we were really on to something special, creating brand new fans out of a brand new era, a brand new generation that are learning about some of the greatest players of all time, right? It's mind-numbing, I know, to think.
It really is, and you think about it in these children, and because that was done 50 years ago.
Yeah.
This stuff started 50 years ago.
Yeah.
And the ability to bring that forward for these children.
Yeah.
They walk up to me sometimes and say, you know, we watched you and you were, what was the score in the Super Bowl 14? And I look at them and they're 9 years old. And you go,
yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, right. You weren't even a thought.
Right, no.
when that game was played, right? Yeah, I think that's what makes what we're doing here with Gridiron Gaming so uniquely special. Just a brand new way to connect and a brand new way to, to bring value to guys' brands, to their personal brands. I mean, it's just the beginning of something really uniquely special, and not just for Hall of Famers like you, but the 99% of guys, the guys like me, right? I mean, and even what it's doing for us is amazing, because it's the one thing that we have as NFL players, that if you played it down in the NFL, you have some brand equity. Right. So that, whether it's in your local community, it's in your town, your college town where you played, or across the country, there's something there. And that's what I think is so unique about the opportunities that, the PFRPA, and having enough foresight to go out here and say, okay, yeah, we're a bunch of old retired guys, but let's go into eSports. Right? It's bold, right? And it was those kind of bold moves that I think are going to create the longevity of what we're trying to do here and helping guys.
Exactly. That's the point. That's the reason we're doing this, is so that we can reach out and try to be some support for retired players in today's world, because we've been left behind. There's no question in my mind.
Oh, sure.
I experienced it, and I know you have too, in whatever measures. But if we can be successful with this and create the ability to make life better for retired players, that's the reason we're doing it.
Yep. And that's that's why I think all of this is so uniquely special, and I cannot wait to have the next one as we start pushing these out across the country, and and bringing guys just full circle with these new fans. I think is just tremendous. Just the opportunities involved.
Well, the first thing I want you to do for me is to get me a coach who can teach you how to play Madden. How to play Madden.
Hey, man, if you could just hit that X button every once in a while, you'll be all right. There's an X button. It's clearly labeled. You might need to get your readers out. Right?
No, absolutely.
Right. It'll be all of us sitting there with our glasses. I got them right here.
And my blue emu for my thumbs.
Right. It'll come standard in your eSports locker.
Absolutely.
A blue emu and a readers. Just like when we were touring the facility here yesterday, and we were looking at the Mavs NBA 2K team. This is their home place where they practice, get ready for their games, and going in their locker room, and doesn't smell like any locker room I've ever been in. There's no sweat, there's no showers, but there's lockers there. You guys have lockers. It's a real deal.
Where's the trainer?
Where's the trainer? Where's the trainer? In fact, they had coaches. The coach's office, and they were telling us that they yell at them, and call plays out.
Right.
It's a different world. Right.
I just hope they, clean up the language.
Yeah, there we go.
Because my coaches didn't.
Yeah, right. That's for sure. It'll be sports when you have that coach in your face turning red and spitting as he's yelling at you.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it. There we go.
And I'm trying to get to the oxygen is what I'm trying to get to.
Right. Right. If I can just breathe, I can maybe say something back to you. Right. Anyways, Jack, thanks for hanging out with me. This is awesome. Thanks
Brian.
for hanging out in Dallas.
Thank you for what
Always
you do
good,
for us.
man.
We appreciate it, man.
Oh, man. Anytime.
Yep.